What is up? What is up, everyone? How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Artie, Sism, what's up, my brother? What's up? What's up, all my brothers? So, hope everyone can hear me well. I hope everyone can hear me well. Tonight we'll see. I'm going to try to do something a little bit different, right? If you guys have been checking, I've been trying to do some, afternoon mobile, right? Live on my phones, right? I've been trying to do some lives on my phone. And it's been interesting, right? It's been really interesting, connecting with the chat, having a bunch of different people interacting and coming on the chat. It was pretty fun. It's pretty interesting, right? It was pretty interesting. So, but I've been trying to do these like prompts, right? These prompts, okay? These, something. It's something that you sometimes see on a lot of times you see it on TikTok, right? You see it on TikTok where there's a topic of the day, and people can come on and debate it and have a conversation. Okay, so I want to see if I can get some traction with that, for our Wednesdays call-in live stream, right? So, I think that would be fun. I think that'd be interesting, right? I think it would be fun and interesting. So, let me see. So yeah. Disagreeers definitely will have anyone who disagrees will have priority. Yeah. If anyone if anyone wants to talk about it, we can. So that will be the prompt. As you can see, right? The prompt for tonight: modern Western women should stay single forever. Okay. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. If you have a disagreement, right? If you have a disagreement, please, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. All right. I think it'd be interesting. I think it will be interesting. But let's start out with something, right? Let's start out with a video. This is MTR, right? The big man himself. Big time YouTube content creator, right? A big name in the sphere. Big name in the big name in the space, right? He's a power player in the space. So he made a video that I thought was interesting. So let's check this out. Let's check this video out. pretty much, right, giving credence, more proof why I believe modern Western women should stay single forever. Okay. I believe that modern Western women, right, which essentially is women that have been poisoned, have been affected by feminism. Feminism has poisoned women. Now, it's not just in the West, but that's the root of it. So let's say women in China, women in South Korea, women in Japan, they have been poisoned by feminism. And they're essentially, thanks to being poisoned, thanks to being indoctrinated by feminism, it has made women incapable, incapable, incompatible of being with men in long-term relationships, in long-term successful relationship. Women are incapable, right? In general, right? Not all women, of course, not all women, but definitely in general, women are incapable. They're not compatible of being in a long-term successful relationship with men. And these are the women that, like I said, that have been poisoned by feminism. Now, again, I say modern day Western women, but again, that's the root of it, right? That's the root. That's the source. Like I said, it's happening in China, South Korea, Japan. Marriage rates are down, divorce rates are up, birth rates are down, right? Thanks to feminism. Thanks to feminism. So, but let's get the ball rolling, right? Let's get the ball rolling, and let's listen to the man himself, MTR.
Uploaded this video entitled Comedian's Wife Sparks Outrage After Saying Real Men Should Never Go 50-50. A couple of hours later, Myron Gaines actually wrote down in my comment section and he said, time to cook. And he did not just cook.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. God, it's so annoying with the audio. Um, so annoying.
Equally retarded co-host Andrew Schultz. Here's his stupid ass wife making a mockery of him and herself on a pod.
God damn it. Uh, I'm sorry. This is kind of annoying. I'm sorry. This is kind of annoying. Man, I really do hate StreamYard. It's so fucking annoying. I really hate StreamYard.
Cast, and then link the original piece of content that I commentated over. I'm about to cook them like curry when I get back to Miami.
Ugh. So fucking annoying. Ugh. So fucking
annoying. To which Akash responded, "My man out here getting triggered by jokes, how ironic. But don't worry about me, Myron." Akash responded, "My man out here getting triggered by jokes, how ironic. But don't worry about me, Myron." I got no.
Okay. Sorry guys for the audio annoyance. Let's so annoying. So annoying. Alright, I'm sorry guys. Let's play this. Hopefully the audio isn't bad. This is why I hate StreamYard. I really do. I really hate StreamYard.
Issue putting a bitch in her place, for example, and then link this old flagrant podcast. Let's listen to a little bit of it to see what he said.
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period. Those are your roots. Those women are reflected in your roots. So if you're saying, hey, I don't generally date them, but I have more space for it, even though I still think it's a little corny.
Akash only dates brown. Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
so
Indian
this
woman
is like loyal through and through.
Okay. And I understand.
Whatever. These comments probably came after Fresh and Fit went viral for saying that they don't date brown. Now, if you are a race loyalist when it comes to dating, then you'd be on the side of Akash, or if you think we're all humans and the survival of the fittest out here, you're probably going to be on the side of Fresh and Fit. But Myron's follow-up response is this compilation, to which Akash has not responded back to yet. But let's watch.
Yeah, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Laughing Man, what's up, my brother? What's up, my brother? How you doing? How are you doing?
What I find corny is my preference is not my women. Now, I thought it was I'm not dating my women, period, which is the corniest human being outside of a criminal to me, period.
Akash only dates brown. Akash has been with one girl in his life who is his wife.
That's my wife. That's an
so
Indian
this
woman
is like loyal through and through.
Sometimes
You know what's, for me, what's the corniest is being a simp, right? The corniest thing for me is being a simp. Right? Being a fool, being an idiot for a woman. That is the corniest thing for me. Being a simp is the corniest thing for me.
get so painfully nostalgic for college. I was popping my pussy and living my best life in these white boy frat houses.
I'm actively trying to have an orgy because, and you haven't seen Nav yet, but wait till you fucking see him. His body goes crazy. His face card always slays, never declines. And it's kind of weird because I'm talking about your husband. I just know that Nav's dick is like at least 10 inches. Okay, I have two butthole stories. So one time I met this guy on Tinder and I made the dumb mistake of letting him sleep over, like not really wanting to fucking hook up. And I like woke up in the morning and like my asshole was a little sore. Oh my god! And I remember that he like kind of do you watch when you use a vibrator?
Okay, not gonna lie, I don't watch porn while using a vibrator. What? I just think my imagination is vibration enough.
What?
I just think of like my own husband while I'm like doing it.
Wait, Wait, that's kind of baller, but I could never do that.
Yeah. And so I was using you and your husband split finances, and I'm gonna be really fucking honest.
I don't.
We don't.
We don't.
We don't.
First of all, that's a fucking red flag. I'm not like, no joke. I love you girls. If you want to work, all for that, whatever. But like any man that doesn't want to have a joint bank account or isn't being transparent with his accounts or has separate accounts, that's a fucking red flag. This is not a two-way street. This is a one-way street. His money is our money, and my money is my money. And look, have I only made $600 from content creating?
Wow, I went up $100 from last week.
But that's my money! Okay?
Rated. I don't know if you watch The Boys, but I love him on The Boys.
I never watched that show, but like, he's on my hall pass list.
Oh, yeah.
Chase Crawford, Jacob Elordi, Austin Butler, and who else?
Do you know why I think I am?
Modern Western women should stay single forever. All right? Again, modern Western women should stay single forever. Why? They are incompatible, right? They are indoctrined. They have shitty attitude. Modern Western women, okay? They have become absolutely disgusting, right? They have become incompatible, right? To be in long-term, right? Long-term good relationships with men. Now, the fool, this Akash, whatever, I don't really know him, is an idiot, right? He's a simp. He's a blue pill fool. And that is the only way these women, right, can get a relationship. Either they get with a fool of a man, a simp of a man, or to use him, right, to settle for him, to use him or settle for him, or they get used by the Chads, the Tyrones, the players, the bad boys, right, the Pookies. Those are the choices. Women don't have choices with actually good men. They don't. It's either the losers or the abusers, right? It's either the losers or the abusers. And again, those relationships won't last. Those relationships won't last. And you see it. You see it. All these countries, Japan, South Korea, China, places in the West, US, UK, low marriage rates, high divorce rates, mostly filed by women, right? Low birth rates, high depression rates. It's, again, women are incompatible right now because of feminist ideology, because of how women are indoctrinated and raised now, right? They have become just absolutely disgusting to be with. I don't even deal with foreign women. I don't even deal with foreign women that live in the West. Yeah, you're not from the West, but you live here. I'm good. Again, it doesn't really matter necessarily. It's just a prompt, but it's the ideology, right? It's happening in China, happening in South Korea, happening in Japan. Feminism is poisoning women to the point where they are not good partners to be with. These women are either meant to be single because they're just shitty partners, or they settle, right? They settle for the beta loser simps. That's just how it is. Oh, that is sad. Sism, is that true? God. See, that's the thing. I've said to you guys before. Get those passports quickly. Get those passports quickly and rush. Because honestly, it's the world, right? The world is being slowly poisoned by feminism, right? I don't know how slow. Could be fast. Could be slow. But it's happening. It's happening.
Now, I find it super interesting, right? Like, if you take a look at that conversation that Fresh and Fit and Flagrant had 3 years ago, right, and people were divided and picking sides, does your side change now that you see the woman that he decided to marry? Imagine getting on bended knee for a woman that is okay with utilizing the free time that you have now allowed her through the millions of dollars that you have ascertained to get on these public podcasts and talk about hall passes, meaning a guy that she would step out on if given the opportunity, screaming from the top of her lungs as you put her up on that pedestal of what it is that you owe her as she screams, "It's my money," into that microphone. So confident to talk so recklessly about her podcast host's now husband, about doing gangbangs and how attractive that he is. And what also bothers me about this as well is that this is a leech serpent.
That is another trait. Part of feminism. It's part of feminism, right? It has made women, honestly, not fit to be in long-term committed relationship with. Sexual freedom, right? The sexual revolution. Women are whores. I'm sorry, right? A lot of women, if not the majority of women, have become whores, right? A lot of women are body counts to the roof, right? Women have more bodies under them than the mob, right? Women have more bodies under them than than like your thug, right? Women have a lot of bodies under them. Honestly, women created hookup culture. Women created situationships, friends with benefits, this non-monogamous, ideology, this polyamorous shit. It's women. And also, I heard in the Philippines, it's very, very difficult to get divorced. But that's the thing, right? It's the tradition where they want to promote family. They want to promote unity. But if feminism is creeping in, things could change, right? Things can change when feminism is slowly poisoning your country.
Woman that took Akash, who I still think is a good at heart type of guy, for granted, but that's what the blue pill is. That's why this content is so necessary, so that men can continue to learn the tricks of the trade so they don't get taken advantage of later on in life. So many young men today choose women without listening to them or watching their behavior with their eyes closed. Because if you close them damn eyes and if you prioritize logic over the attraction that you see, then you will significantly lower the risk of setting yourself up for a life like this.
And this is the thing where why I'm going to do a prompt, right? Not today, but eventually, of why women deserve less, right? Myron Gaines did say it. That was his one of his topic, to say that women deserve less. It is that you do not give women everything at the beginning. You don't. Women need to prove it. Women need to deserve it, right? Do not be the simp that put women on a pedestal. Do not be the simp that put women on a pedestal. Don't. They need to qualify for your effort. Women need to qualify, right, for your time. They do. I mean, you can do what you want, right? But again, if you fail, if your heart get broken, you're the only one to blame, right? At the end of the day, we're all adults. You just can't say that, "Oh, I've never heard of it. I never knew about it." You fucking did. You fucking did. Men have warned you. Men have warned you to not be a fucking simp. Men have warned you to not be a blue pill beta simp. Men have warned you. But now, as an adult, it's up to you what you decide to do with your life. Now, you could, right? You want to be the amazing gentleman for these women you barely know, who didn't prove shit to you. Just because you found her attractive, right? Just because you found her attractive, you give her everything. You treat her like a queen. You treat her like a goddess just because you found her attractive. Not because she did anything for you. Not because she actually treated you with love and respect. Not because she actually wants you. No, because you're a fucking simp, right? You're a blue pill idiot that just that thinks with your fucking dick, right? So you give women everything. I'm a gentleman. Flowers, chocolates, 5-star restaurant, the first fucking date. Then fine, do what you want. But at the end of the day, don't blame nobody but yourself when that woman breaks your fucking heart.
Crazy is that women on her side are just talking about how loving of a relationship that this is. What? The normalization of the emasculization of the modern man today is sickening. Have him get up on a podcast and talk about these chicks that he wants hall passes with and other men's wife that he wants to do gangbangs with and shit like that, and see how quickly their tune will change.
I think it's because my husband's never here.
Okay,
Whoa.
so I've been getting a lot of comments.
Hold up, did I hear that whole thing?
Do you know why I think I have like a good marriage? I think it's because my husband's never here.
It's a joke. It's a joke. Really? It's a joke. My God. She's a joke. She's joking. She's joking. Come on. She's married to a comedian. She's a joker. Oh. No, you're a fucking joke. You are a joke. You're a woman who's a fucking nobody. Right? You're a woman who's a fucking nobody coming to the world and disrespecting you. This is why we're seeing this more and more, right? These women that are nobodies. Nobodies. What is it? I just did it. I recently did a video with, Stephen Curry's wife. She's a fucking nobody. A fucking nobody going online and shitting on her husband. Disrespecting her husband. It's like I've literally her joke. Why is her marriage so great? Why is this woman's joke why is her marriage so great? Because her husband is never fucking there. That's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah, that's what I want. I want my wife to joke about, me not being there is the best part of our marriage. So funny. This is why I don't find women funny, right? Most men have said it. Women aren't funny, and you can see why. That's not funny. That's disrespectful. And again, see, that's the thing. I say it. Go to be a passport bro before it's too late.
Okay, so I've been getting a lot of comments that I'm using my husband for clout, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. No lies were told. I am leveraging the support I have. It's kind of like nepotism, but like through my husband, so like spousal nepotism. What's wrong with that?
She's trying to play the sarcastic card, but if you're intelligent enough that you know not to get wrapped into her bullshit. Anyway, Myron wasn't done running amok on X, but then she took to her TikTok account to explain the situation.
Okay guys, I want to talk to you really quick because obviously my name keeps getting brought up by either women or men. Lately it's these Redpill guys because I said my money, or what did I say? His money is our money and my money is my money, which is a common saying, whatever. I'm not even going to elaborate because I don't fucking care to explain myself to them. But what I will say is, if you're not going to be a man for fucking women, like if you're going to say, oh, women should do this for us and wear the prize and blah, 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 at least be a man for yourselves.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that...
It'll always go back to shaming tactics. It'll always go back to undercutting men for having standards and requirements, and it'll never address the ridiculousness of the comments that she originally made. This is an attempt to deflect. Quick.
And this is my shit, right? This is my fucking pet peeve, okay? This is my pet peeve. Women are saying men aren't emotionally intelligent. Women have been complaining that men are not emotionally intelligent. Okay. Now that men are gaining emotional intelligence and seeing that, no, this is disrespectful. You're not treating me like an equal. You're not treating me with value. In saying, right? Saying that my money is our money, yet your money is your money. Does that not sound abusive? Right? Emotionally intelligent, right? Emotionally intelligent. Women using this fucking narrative. Our money, right? I mean, your money is our money. My money is my money. That is fucking abusive. Oh, yeah, oh, Crazy, isn't it? Crazy, that's abusive. But guess what? Guess what? Men gaining emotional intelligence, what does that mean? Is that men are now valuing how he's being treated. Right? Because men see the gaslighting that women do. Men see the manipulating that women do. And that is fucking manipulating, right? That is fucking manipulation. Steve, what's up, my brother? What is up, my brother? Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. So yeah, men are gaining emotional intelligence. Men are being smarter, right? So men don't see that. How does that fucking make sense? How does that make sense? My money is our money. Your money is your money. That is gaslighting. That is manipulation, right? That is abusive. You want men to be more emotionally intelligent? Men are. Men are.
Understand her fixation with involving herself within a beef between Myron and Akash. And it makes me think that she's doing this against Akash's will. Akash hasn't even responded to Myron since the compilation, but she's responding. I could definitely see Akash call her on the phone like, can you please just stop? No, Pit. It's my money. So it's my podcast. I do what I want.
So I just watched Don't Worry, Darling, finally on Netflix. It's like that movie from 2 or 3 years ago that everyone was talking about. What? Spoiler alert. But basically, these men live in this like virtual reality simulation where everything is perfect. They go to work, their wives clean on them, wait for them. You know, their wives are basically dependent on their men. Like 50s aesthetic, but like the dark side. At the end, you find out that these women never consented to be in this like virtual reality thing. And like when the women start glitching is when the memories of their real life start coming back. And there's this one scene where Chris Pine, the person who orchestrates this whole like utopic town or whatever, he tells Harry Styles to dance for him. And Harry Styles dances for him like a little monkey. That's what I feel like you guys are doing. Whether it's Andrew Tate or these fucking Redpill podcast guys, like when they tell you something, when they ask you to jump, you say how high.
This is fucking stupid, right? This is why women and certain stupid ass men don't really understand. Men in the manosphere space is not telling you, right, to do shit you don't want to do. Men are saying, don't deal with women that disrespect you. Don't deal with women that treat you like shit, that doesn't value you. Women like this value you because of your money and how big of a simp you are, right? How you have little to no self-respect, right? You have little to no self-respect. She loves it. She loves it, right? Because honestly, if you have no self-respect, you don't mind if she uses you. You don't mind if like she thinks very little of you. You don't mind. You actually love it, right? You think you love it, right? Absolutely ridiculous.
You're still not a man either way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you're still a little bitch beta boy doing whatever these men tell you. Why are you mad at us? Why are you mad if me and my husband are cool with each other, if we both make jokes at each other's expense? The difference is my husband will go on stage and say whatever the fuck he wants about me. No one has anything to say. It's like, oh my god, it's so funny, it's so relatable. But then I come on TikTok and I make jokes and now you have a fucking problem because I don't have a mic in my hand? Like, make it make sense. I'm not here for the...
Because here's the thing, right? You are not a fucking comedian. You're not a comedian. His job that pays for your nepotism, that pays for your fucking life, is him being a comedian. Right? Your job isn't a comedian. That's not your job. Seriously. And what you don't understand, okay, is that what you're doing is more disrespectful towards your... Now, you could joke, right? It's that, again, that's your marriage, right? Whatever, how you go about with your marriage, it is what it is. But at the end of the day, right, what men are saying is that we can tell you what most likely what will happen in your relationship. Because this is a woman that will disrespect you to the public. It's not her job to be a jokester. It's not her job to, make jokes. It's not. She's probably trying to be. She's trying to make jokes. She's trying to gain some fucking clout, but that's not her job. So instead of being a supportive wife, instead of being a good wife, she goes online to the public and shits on you. Whether it's a joke or not, right? And I've always heard this as a common thing. Every joke has a grain of truth, right? Every joke has a grain of truth in it. So this woman might be telling the truth. And again, you are not a comedian. You going online shitting on your husband doesn't make sense. Right? You're shitting on your husband for clout. That's she said that too, right? Which is even worse. It's even worse because it's showing you that you have no respect for your husband. You're using him. You're shitting on him to gain clout because you have nothing about you. Nothing about you was worth getting fame or getting notoriety, getting attention. Nothing worth you besides maybe your looks, right? But you don't want to use necessarily your looks to get you wherever. You want to use your husband, right? Your husband, you want to use your husband to get you some notoriety. Just like the Aisha Curry shit. These women are ridiculous. And men online are saying that, great, if your marriage lasts, awesome for you. Great for you. But 9 times out of 10, women that disrespect you like this, women that think very little of you, it won't last. It won't last.
Misogyny. One thing that I will say, being canceled by this people doesn't affect me as much.
Oh no, it absolutely does. That's why you're responding. And I will say, because she's done this before, where she'll say some type of expectation that she has out of life or some life lesson comes from some TV goddamn show. The utilization of how you are forming opinions being based off of scripted shows demonstrates the insanity that exists here. The same person who says that her therapist, think about this, her therapist exalts her intuition, her gut.
Yo, you already got snow? That's crazy. That's crazy. You already got snow. It's getting colder here. It's getting colder over here too. No snow. I'm not sure if we're gonna get snow, right? Because for the last couple of years, we haven't been getting much snow. So I think global warming or whatever, right? The weather is changing.
Feeling as if it's a real thing that she should be abiding by. She's an absolute menace that needs to be stopped, but through her shaming of men in conjunction with how she talks about and treats her current husband, she doesn't realize she's adding ammo to what we all talk about. This is Aisha Curry 2.0.
I genuinely don't respect them. I'm just like, okay, talk about me all you want, drive traffic to my page. Our YouTube video, our podcast episode that me and Nahal did got 37,000 views, which for us is really fucking high because we're just starting out. So I'm like, okay, keep driving traffic. I'm not even gonna read any of the comments. So it's like, what are you doing this for? There's no way you can be happy. You cannot be happy just doing this. And I feel like if you honestly just try to find God, worked on yourself, went to therapy, you would feel so much better than what these little cockroaches and parasites try to tell you. Honestly, that's my honest feedback.
And then pulls out God at the end of it. What's that Proverbs?
God. Like I said, pull God out of it. And then also before talked about a man's penis size. The damn feminist handbook, right? The damn feminist handbook. You talk about God-fearing men, right? Or God or whatever. And then you talk about sex. You talk about sex. Makes sense, right? It makes sense.
It's better to live in a desert than with a quarrelsome wife. Now, interestingly enough, this isn't the first time that she's talked about podcast bros hating on her. A couple of months ago, she posted this.
So my husband actually interviewed these red pill guys on their podcast one time, and I won't mention their names because who the f- even cares. But it was so funny because he actually called them out on their shit and their like stupid fucking beliefs and how they say that they're helping men when actually what they say is like really detrimental and damaging, especially to young impressionable men who are getting their intellectual stimulation more so from podcasts than books, literature, news, or sports.
You think it is beneficial for men to get with women like you? To get with women like you who has high body counts, who don't mind getting in front of a camera to the public talking about your sexual history, who don't mind pretty much embarrassing your husband, who don't mind saying that the best thing about your marriage is your husband not being in it. Yeah, let's promote that. Let's promote that with men. That sounds better, right? Doesn't that sounds better? To promote that shit with men, that, oh, not listening to red pill men is shitty, but listening to other men like your husband to get a woman like you. That's what's going to bring joy to men. Yeah. Exactly. And this is a thing where at the very least, right? Men's content is trying to not delude men. Not is definitely pushing men to not be naive, right? Men should not be naive when it comes to women. Men should not be naive when it comes to women.
Because he went at them, the red pill guys, like fans, were attacking him afterwards, found pictures of us, and because I'm like objectively attractive, they were saying that we couldn't possibly have got together in a natural kind of way, or like in the wild, like it must have been an arranged marriage. Like that's where that whole arranged marriage rumor started, or just like making up all sorts of stuff when it wasn't even true. And I can tell you, like, if you're a young guy listening to this, you don't have to be super tall. You don't have to be tall. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be spent.
Big bars. What's up, my brother? Thanks for showing up during the day, right? I'm gonna try to, like, on this channel and my other channel, I'm trying to do some mobile, right? Mobile live streams. I'm bored, right? If I'm not working during the day, if I'm like free, no work at that particular moment, I'm going to try to get on a live stream, right? I'm going to start a live stream, talking to the chat, talking to people that's online. And I thought it was interesting. Red Door, what's up, my sister? What is up, my sister? Thank you for being here.
Hours at the gym. He wasn't at the peak of his career when we got together at all. He was really like in the early stages. So it just goes to show you that like that narrative is really dangerous. And I don't mean to laugh, but I'm just laughing because like it just like broke their brain trying to understand like someone that they consider pretty or attractive could be with someone that respects women and likes women and like doesn't believe in their beliefs. Like it just like broke their brain. So it just goes to show you that you can actually be nice, a gentleman, like do acts of service and buy gifts and do all this stuff for your.
And then we get you at the end of it. This is exactly what the majority of men do not want. Women who feed their egos by getting on the.
That's the thing where what men are. This is why men in this side are trying to wake up men. Wake up men, all right? You being an old school simp, right? You loving a woman, you respecting a woman, you should, right? You should respect a woman, you should love her, but you blindly treat women like gold, right? Blindly put women on a pedestal, right? You buy things for a woman, you go overboard for a woman. But guess what the results are? Guess what the results are? high divorce rates, usually filed by women. High divorce rate, usually filed by women. Low birth rates. High single rates. High low marriage rates. Right? So really, you being a simp is getting men what? Right? Divorces. Neglecting. Right? Neglects. Or ignored. Great. What is it getting men? Not really getting men anything.
The internet calling themselves objectively attractive while trying to gaslight us in regards to your decision to say yes to him getting down on bended knee. Akash talked about how he wasn't attractive in high school and he was a virgin to 31 years of age. And when he talks, you can tell that he is grateful that through his life contributions, he was able to attract a woman that he finds very attractive. But the content in the space helps guide men to...
And you see that? That's a man that got with his wife out of desperation. That is a man that got with his wife out of desperation. And that is what I try to promote. My brothers, please work on yourself. Please be the best version of yourself. The best version of yourself physically, mentally, financially. Okay? So you won't be desperate for any woman that gives you attention. Because here's a wife. She literally is a stay-at-home wife. She lives off of this man's money. And she thinks it's a great time to joke about the best part of her marriage is her husband not being in it. She talks about the dick size of her best friend, of her best friend's husband. She talks about having anal sex when she was back in college. She talks about having sex with a bunch of frat men when she was in college. Yes, that's what men should settle for. And again, modern Western women should stay single forever. They are incompatible. They are not a good match for modern day men. They're not good match. They cannot sustain a healthy long-term relationships. These women are absolutely evil, right? Unless you are the simp that don't give a shit about himself, unless you're the doormat that will allow whatever, that allow her to wipe her feet on your fucking face, then it won't work. Because you got to be a doormat. You have to be a doormat to be able to be with these women, right? You have to be a doormat. If you're not a doormat, you cannot be. You cannot be with these women long term. They will divorce you. You have to bend over backwards, right? Bend over backwards, pull your pants down, and let her fuck you. Right? You have to be a doormat. You have to be, right? You have to be the little spoon. To be able, right? To be able to make relationships with these women work. Because you got to bend over backwards. You got to bend over backwards for these women, right? To be able to be fine with you. Modern Western women are poisonous. They're incompatible. They're terrible. They don't have the mindset, right? They don't have the mindset, the personality to be able to be in a long-term relationship with men. They're not. So what does that mean? Well, one, they need to be single forever, or you have to be a doormat, a fucking doormat, for her to be able to stay with you. If you're not a doormat, she will divorce you. She will divorce you if you're not a doormat.
Form standards and requirements to demand respect. And because he wasn't privy to that information, he allows you to continuously disrespect him publicly. She acts like he wasn't successful, but she previously admitted that she met him after he was on the Brilliant Idiots podcast with Andrew Schultz. So although you were able to trick him, the content in the space guides young men to understand what it is. That in fact, you could be setting yourself...
She met him while he was like on his way up. Not like, to be honest, yeah, he was still nobody, But again, he was obviously on his way up.
For an extremely transactional relationship. So although you scoff at men informing other men about the game, about human nature, about
I'll check it out. I'll check it out.
Hypergamy, about the benefits of prenups, about how transactional a relationship like this or a marriage like this may actually be.
Do all this stuff for your girl and have like a partnership really with mutual respect.
Also, guys, right? If you have a disagree, if you disagree, please link in the chat. If you disagree, come on up. I don't mind, right? If you disagree, I believe modern Western women should stay single forever. Feminism has poisoned women to the point that they are incompatible to being in long-term relationships with men. This is why you see the results. High divorce rates, low marriage rates, high single mother rates, right? I mean, again, women are incompatible.
If he doesn't like something, he pushes back on me, and if I don't like something, of course, you guys know I push back, and like they're normal, healthy relationships, not like that. So I'm really glad that adolescence is like opening this like productive, healthy, constructive discussion, because the statistics are really scary for what young men are experiencing, and I hope that they do get more positive role models that they need, especially in schools and online. And yeah, it's just funny.
Now, I'm not going to be the one to say that all of the content within the men-centric space that comes from these individuals that I probably don't even know.
That's the thing, right? Not all men's content is a good thing. No, right? There's a lot of, I'll admit, right? There's a lot of toxic men in here. I've said this before. On this channel, we do not promote hating women. We do not promote hating women. What we do promote is holding women accountable for the things they say and do. We do not hate women. I said it again. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to keep on saying it. We do not hate women. Right? We don't hate women. What we do is that we will hold women accountable for the things they say and do. That is my motto. Everyone, I believe, on this channel, right? That's my motto. That's what I push. I push, we do not hate women. I'm not gonna blindly outright hate on women. No. Right? I'll say, right, we hold women accountable, and then men, don't be naive to women, right? Don't be naive. Wake up and improve yourself. Focus on yourself. Care for yourself. Men need to gain self-love, self-respect, because with that, you won't allow women to treat you like a fucking doormat. You won't let women abuse you and use you. If men have self-respect, self-love, they will not allow women to use them. I do not promote hating on women. But what I do promote is we hold these women accountable for their words and actions.
Or have never even spoken to is all beneficial towards men. I mean, shit, I promote a docuseries called Transcending the Red Pill. But the way that you treat and talk about your husband does more than what I ever could in helping men become more informed on what not to do. And finally, this is Myron's last post. Your wife swore she was a virgin. Laughing emoji. Married simps like you and Andrew keep proving us right 3 years after your weak-ass woman lecture on your trash podcast. 3 things always come out: the sun, the moon, and the truth.
I'm just gonna really just start off here. Before you got in here, I was asking Akash about, like, right, his first time, like, you know, with you, not as much, but like, how did it go with other women, talking about never having a blowjob, what the, so, he's 34. How old are you?
25.
Okay, so like, you meet him,
Yeah.
he's never had sex, and he's older than you. Were you like, ew?
Yeah.
I can tell you this, right? I was a late bloomer, right? Late bloomer. I mean, not like this guy, but I was a late bloomer. I didn't have my first kiss. I didn't have my first kiss until I was like 21, right? Around 21, around that. I didn't have my first sex until I was around 21. Because of that, right? I had all my friends around me where they lost their virginity long time ago. But because of that, I was desperate. I was desperate, right? I will hate it to this day, right? I will hate it to this day where because I didn't get, any action, right? Until later on, round 21. The first woman that showed me even the littlest, right? Even the littlest amount of affection, I was like, fucking, let's go. I'm down, right? But again, there wasn't much feelings in it, right? And I regret that where, because of desperation, I just took whatever I can get. Which is why I don't want men to fall for that. Right? I don't want men to fall for desperation. When you're desperate, you'll fall for whatever you can get. And I believe it's never a good thing. It's never a good thing because then essentially you as a man, you're settling for whatever you can get instead of working on yourself. I wish I worked on myself. Like I worked on myself mentally, physically, financially for me to be the best version of myself to hopefully get the best fit I can get, right? Get the best type of woman that I want to get, right? Instead of finding someone that I'm desperate for. Blue bars, that's why you gotta work on yourself.
It's funny because, like, the guy that I was kind of with right before him was also a virgin. And
Stole it from a black dude. What's up? I stole it from a black dude.
The black man was a virgin?
I know.
Yeah. He was like really like on some principled shit, and I don't know. I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he didn't want to lose his virginity. But when I met Akash, I was at the point where I was ready because I don't know if you told her because I was.
Oh no, I didn't know you were a virgin too.
So I was a virgin too when I met him.
That's why she don't know that it's trash.
That's why.
She don't know no better.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's the thing where if you believe it, right? If you believe it. I mean, like, women say a whole lot of shit. I'm sorry. Women say a whole lot of shit. I mean, maybe, but she's telling a lot of different stories, right? She's telling a lot of conflicting stories. And then when you just, like, let's say you try to mask it. Oh, it's a joke. Yeah, who knows? Fucking knows.
Gotta get him ignorant, you know what I mean?
No, so I felt like I was like at a place where I was ready, and then I found out he was a virgin, and then I was like, great. Like, do I have to wait again? But I think like we just connected very well that it went without saying that we wanted to.
How did you guys meet?
Show. She had a
The
fat ass and I
Hoboken
chased her down.
Wait, you met at one of his shows?
No, we're at the Hoboken Comedy Festival. And
and direct. Different. My wife also hadn't had any sexual partners, so that helped us connect a lot more.
Let me ask you this: do you believe her?
If you've seen her, then it's hard to believe. Yeah. I remember I was just like, what? But she was 22, I was 31. There was an age gap.
Sure. Did you lie, or did you come right out and say like, oh, me too, or was it what did that conversation go like?
I don't remember how it came. I think she said it.
Blacked out.
She said it, and then I was like,
when she said I'm a virgin, you went, your heart exploded.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? I get it, right? Yo, Brent, thank you for showing up during my live during the day, right? I love you guys. That you guys always show support to me, right? You guys are amazing, right? I do love you guys. For all the times you guys always try to show support for me, thank you. It humbly, it's an amazing thing, right? So thank you guys. Thank you for all the support you guys show me, right? You guys are amazing. This is a thing where I get it. He was, what did he say, 35, getting with a 22-year-old. I get it. I understand. But at the end of the day, he was thinking with his penis, not with his brain, right? And I get it. Men do that. So I'm not Laughing man, I do. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all the love. And that's the thing where I get it. When men think with their penis, think with their dick, they don't think straight. And I get it. What a 35-year-old, why wouldn't he want a 22-year-old? I understand. But it's because it's because of your desperation.
Well, he got happy. He's nothing compared to.
Exactly. I was
a stallion compared to anybody else.
I was so happy.
Yeah, that's for
so
sure.
relieved.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it felt right. It was like, oh, God brought me this person that, like, we already connected, and, like, she also isn't having sex.
And that's when I'm gonna leave this conversation here today. My sneaking suspicion is that this is not the last that we're gonna hear.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, women will say whatever they will say. I mean, it's not like you can disprove it, really. It's not like you can disprove it, you know. So it is what it is. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Thank you guys for being here tonight, right? Thank you all you guys for being here tonight. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. You know, it's weird, right? I don't know. I'm trying to test these things out, right? See what works, see what, you know, and I get it, right? I'm a small time creator, so I probably won't get much traction. But, you know, I'm trying to see what works, right? Trying to see what works. If anything works, you know. But yeah, tonight's live. You know, call in, right? If you guys want to call in, you guys can. What? Don't believe in God. You said it yourself. What deodorant, please? Besides 3 feet of snow, I'm good. Yeah. What would I say? I mean, yeah. You know, I'm trying to, do some different things to maybe make the show more entertaining, more interesting, if it happens, right? I don't know if it's going to. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, so we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I guess we'll try some other videos. We'll try some other videos. Again, the topic for tonight, all right? If you guys do have if anyone pops up and have a disagreement, you guys can jump in and talk. Or if you want to just react to some videos together, it's fine too. But essentially, right? Tonight's topic is modern Western women should stay single forever. I believe modern Western women that have been indoctrinated, women have been poisoned by feminism, are incapable of being in long-term relationships with men. So since they are incapable, they might as well just be single. Just be single forever. Because they are not a good fit. Right? Because the feminism has poisoned them. Feminism has poisoned women to the point where they are honestly just terrible. They're terrible. They're more aggressive, more combative, not fit to be in a long-term relationship with men. You heard about Korea and Japan is fighting back against this feminist nonsense. They are scared. You know what I'm talking about. I sent you a video on Discord. Let's check it out. But yeah, I mean, I know that I definitely know that Japan, China, Korea, they are suffering because of feminism. Future cat ladies, yeah, like I said, just stay single. Just stay single. Exactly. Future cat ladies and box wine.
Die alone.
Stay single. I agree. Yep. They gotta just stay single. They're incompatible. They're not fit to be with men today. Right? These women are unfit to be in long-term relationship with men. So, the amazing content creator himself, Whole Math, kind of explaining us, kind of showing us why I believe that women are incapable. Interesting. I gotta check that out. What the fuck?
This is the quickest way to clear out stuck poop. The number one food for South Korea is not.
I'll check this video afterwards, right? We'll check the video afterwards. Omni! What's up, my brother? Yeah, no. I have my... You could try the recommendations, right? You could send it to me. You could send it however you want. But I created a tab for recommendations, right? So that is a good way for you guys to send it, all right? All right. Let's check this video out. Again, tonight's topic, tonight's prompt, right, is modern Western women should stay single forever. Modern Western women are incompatible, right, with being in long-term relationships with men. They are unfit, right? So, why? How? What do you mean? How are they unfit? Well, let's check it out. Let's check this out.
In order to date me.
Let's see if we can help her out. What are your requirements?
Number one is that you need to be making at least $130K a year. And you need to have at least 2 side hustles. You have to have at least 3 cars. Your second car has to have 8 seats because I have 3 kids. I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you? I'm gonna bring my kids. And another requirement is that you have to have a property under your name and you have to be looking into getting your second property. You have to get a home that has 6 rooms. And if you cannot meet those requirements, then you're not.
Boy.
Huh. And you wonder why women are incapable of being in long-term relationships with men. And here's the thing. I would say this. Always take all videos with a grain of salt, right? A grain of salt. But we've done enough. You guys have seen it, right? We have done enough Kendra G shows, right? Kendra G reaction videos to know that there are women as crazy as this, right? There are plenty of women as crazy as this. High standards, low value. High standards, low value. Women are incompatible with being with men. Really? That's low too? I've been trying to make it higher. I hate this shit. I hate StreamYard. I really fucking hate StreamYard. Let me see. Let me check this out.
Need to be making at least $130K. Need to be making at least $130K a year. And you need to have at least 2 side hustles. You have to have at least 3 cars. Your second car has to have 8 seats because I have 3 kids. I want them to be comfortable whenever we go with you on a trip or something. You want me to come with you? I'm gonna bring my kids. And another requirement is that you have to have a property under your name and you have to be looking into getting your second property. You have to get a home that has 6 rooms. And if you cannot meet those requirements, then you're not.
Boy.
This is a thing, right? Steve said it, right? There such high standards, low value. It is part of why I say modern Western women should stay single forever. Because honestly, they expect so much out of men, and yet men get so little out of them. And why do I say that only the doormats, only the simps can stand it. Right? Only the simps, only the doormats can be in long-term relations with these women. But once you stop being a doormat, which a lot of men will eventually, if it happens, eventually take out that dick from his ass, right? Stop being a doormat. Stop allowing a woman to step all over you. Maybe eventually, right? Maybe like when you're 50, 40, 50, 60, maybe you will stop allowing that woman to step all over you. Maybe. That's when they divorce you, because you stop being a doormat. But again, if you are not a doormat, these women cannot sustain a long-term, healthy relationship with you.
That's a tough one. Who can we find for this lovely young lady who has a lot of money, works too many jobs, controls mass transportation, owns an absurd amount of property, wants your kids around all the time, and doesn't care what kind of person you are? You know what? I think I know just the guy. Get ready to meet your new husband, the United States government.
Exactly. She has kids with the Pookies. With the Pookies, the players, the Chads, the Tyrones, right? The bad boys. Men she's attracted to physically. Right? She has kids with men she's attracted to physically. And then have high expectations for you because you are the provider simp. But you know what? If you can't handle it, if you can't, be the doormat for her, if you cannot be the doormat for her, she'll fucking divorce you. She will leave you, right? She will leave you if you cannot be that doormat for her. She will fucking leave you.
High income, way too many jobs, and a fine selection of vehicles and property just waiting for your kids in particular. They're all boys, right? Doesn't matter. Uncle Sam will take them. 3's not enough. He's a provider, a protector. Well, your kids are protecting him, but there's protection going on. And the U.S. government will never leave you, and you'll never leave him. He'll make sure of it. I love playing matchmaker. I think they'll be very happy together. I think Uncle Sam is probably the only guy in the world who would actually take that deal. I mean, I don't have 2 cars and 3 properties, and if I did, I'm not putting your kids in them. But maybe I'm wrong. Let's check in on her.
Guys, I am no longer going to be posting on this account. I feel like this account is full of hateful men. I've been getting bullied a lot on here. I'm going to close this one down. I don't like the vibes on it anymore.
Yeah. Ain't that something? Ain't that fucking something? Again, right? Again, modern Western women should stay single forever. Stay single forever. Because you are a fucking miserable person. Why? One of the things why I want women like this to stay single forever, because I don't want men to suffer, right? Even though these men are idiots, right? Even though these men will be idiots, I still don't want them to suffer, right? I don't want them to suffer because honestly, being with a woman like this will make you fucking suffer. Really? I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. If you want to be stupid, go for it. Right? I don't. At the end of the day, we're all adults, right? We're all adults. So we decide, what we will do with our lives. Really? Before he started No Jumper, huh? Ain't that something? Ain't that fucking something? I'd rather endure chemotherapy again than put up with these mental muppets. Exactly. I don't want men to suffer, right? I don't want men to suffer from these poisonous women, right? These unbelievably deranged women. High standards, low value. What the fuck are you getting for being with modern Western women? What are you getting? High expectations, low value, right? Women are not even wanting to cook and clean for you. So that you're not getting. Her body, she can stop having sex with you whenever she wants. And honestly, it's highly used, right? These women are coming with body counts in the dozens, if not hundreds, right? So what are you getting? What are men getting? We're not getting what our fathers and grandfathers got, okay? Yet, one, we're not getting that, and then they expect more. They expect more, and we're getting less. We're getting less. Modern women should stay single forever. It's not worth it. They're gonna, that's why I get it. I definitely understand that. I definitely understand that. Thank you everyone for being here, right? Thank you everyone for being here. You guys are amazing, right? You guys are amazing. I love you guys, right? I do love you guys, right? Thank you guys for all the love and support, right? Thank you guys for all the love and support. All right, let's check this video out. Let's see if this is a good one, right? Let's check this one out.
Now one of the countries with the highest level of gender conflict in the world. If in Japan young people adopt a Zen attitude, trying to deal with tension passively, in South Korea the situation is completely different. It has turned into trying to deal with tension passively. In South Korea,
I'm trying to check the sound because like StreamYard sucks. It really does, right? It doesn't separate the sound from the mic. So I have to make my computer really loud, right? I have to make my computer really loud for my mic to pick up the sound. So it's fucking annoying. It's fucking annoying. That's why OBS, they separate the sound, right? So there's a separate sound. Maybe there is separate sound for StreamYard, but I probably have to pay for it, which is fucking no, right? I ain't fucking doing that. That's fucking annoying. I ain't paying for. Again, I want to do this as a hobby. Right? This is a hobby, so I'm not expecting, money or anything. So this is a hobby. Again, this is why I've said this. Where I don't plan to or desire to get big on YouTube or anything. It's just a hobby, a fun time to hang out with you guys. The ones I view as my brothers. Hang out with you guys and chill, right? So, I ain't paying for a fucking StreamYard. All right, let's continue.
A full-blown gender war fought in the name of political correctness. During the last Olympics, one case caught public attention. A female archer who won a gold medal was attacked online simply for having short hair. Male netizens accused her of being a feminist and demanded that she return the medal. Many were shocked. How can you attack a champion who brought pride to the country? But a closer look at the comments revealed something even stranger. The men attacked her because they thought she was a feminist, while those defending her did so by saying she wasn't a feminist. See the pattern? No one was debating whether feminism was good or bad anymore. They were only arguing about who could or couldn't be called a feminist. Why did the word become so rejected in Korea? To understand that, we need to go back about 10 years. Just like in Japan, there was once a time when Korean men and women walked together toward a modern future. Urbanization, economic growth, and the ideal of free love created an atmosphere of optimism. It was in that context that Korean feminism emerged, preaching independence and a break from traditional roles. At first, many men...
See, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Men gaining power and wealth, they want families, right? They want families. Men gaining power and wealth, they want families. Women gaining power and wealth, they want to be alone. Sounds great. Sounds great. It's the poison of feminism. The poison of feminism. And fine, right? Fine. You want to be alone? Great. I support it. I support it. Modern Western women should stay single forever. I support it. I believe once feminism has eke into your fucking brains, you are unfit to be in a relationship. So please stay single, right? So I don't mind. I support it. I think these modern day feminists, they're incompatible with being in relationships anyway. So just stay single.
Supported the movement as well. But history followed the same script as in Japan. China's rise weakened Korean industries, unemployment grew, and internal competition, the so-called involution, exploded, especially after the 2008 financial crisis. As the job market became a survival game, men and women began to turn against each other. And, as in Japan, women lost ground. But something even more extreme happened in Korea. Radical feminism gained power. Groups like Megalir, founded in 2015, appeared. They began by addressing sexual harassment and workplace discrimination, but soon shifted to promoting radical ideas, campaigns against male babies, hate speech, and even violent attacks on men. In extreme cases...
That is feminism for you, right? Again, I believe feminism isn't about equality. It's about power. Feminism does not support equality. Feminism is an advocacy for women to gain power. Right? Gain power over who? Gain power over men. Feminism has promoted women being the victim, men being the abuser. Feminism wants to switch it around. Women want to be the abuser and make men the victim. That is feminism. That is, in my opinion, that is feminism. Women want to switch the status quo, or what they believe is the status quo. Feminists believe the status quo is that women are victims, men are the abuser. They want to switch the status quo that they believe in, right? So feminists want to now become the abuser and make men the victim. That is feminism. That is feminism in a nutshell. And guess what? With that mentality, that makes you unfit to be in a long-term committed relationship with a man. What does that make you fit for? Being single for the rest of your fucking life. You are unfit with being with men. Exactly. Red Door has experienced it. She has been an advocate for men. She's been fighting against feminism for a long time. She knows it. Yep. Feminism is about superiority and power and eliminating men from society. Even if I give women the benefit of the doubt, right? And it's not eliminating men from society, but it's making men weak, right? Feminism wants to make men victims, right? Women want to be the oppressor.
Women stabbed random men on the street or took selfies holding knives to their fathers' necks while they slept.
Wow, really? Stab random men in the streets and hold knives to their fathers? Fucking crazy ass shit.
National heroes were attacked simply for being men. In terms of radicalism, Korean feminism came to be seen as the most extreme in the world, surpassing China, Japan, and even the West. But the biggest mistake was choosing the wrong enemy. Instead of targeting big corporations and power structures, these groups turned their anger toward ordinary men, who were also victims of the same system. The result? Men fought back and became radical too. But unlike in Japan, where men...
I've said this before. Feminism, right, a poison in society, has created men's movements. Feminism created Red Pill. Feminism created MGTOW. Feminism created Passport Bro. Feminism created Black Pill. Feminism created incels. Feminism. Right? I've said this before. If all of these disgusting ass women, all these feminist women, stay single forever, opt out of the dating market, stop dealing with men, fucking become invisible, men's content would disappear. Men's content, right? Red pill, black pill, passport bro, MGTOW, all that shit that women hates, right? Misogyny would disappear. If all of these miserable ass women, right? If all of these miserable ass women would opt out of the dating market, would stop dating men, stop dealing with men, in turn, right? They have no complaints about men because they're not dealing with men, right? If these miserable ass women are not dealing with men, then they would not have complaints about men because they don't know any. They're not dealing with men. If that happens, that will slowly, surely decrease men's content, because what would men talk about, right? Because none of these women are interacting with men. None of these women are complaining about men. None of these women are targeting men. So that would facilitate the decrease of men's content. But again, they can't, right? They can't, because their push is trying to make men the victims. They want to be the abuser, so they have to continue to attack men. And in turn, create all of these men's movements.
Simply checked out of society, Korean men decided to fight back using the same weapon, political correctness. For example, if a photo showed more men than women, feminists would call it gender oppression. Instead of responding rationally, men's groups would reply, "Yes, it's discrimination. Take the photo down immediately. But if there are more women than men, then it's discrimination against men." They started demanding absolute equality in everything, every show, every image, every statement. Any difference was labeled discrimination. And so, political correctness became a weapon against itself. In everyday life, this led to absurd situations. On dates, if a woman suggested that the man should pay more, he would answer, "That's..."
Yo, Artie, what's up, my brother? Somehow your mic or cam is not working, so I can't put you up. They pull the Uno card reverse. Exactly. Men are giving women their own medicine. Artie, what's up, my brother? What's up? Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my fault. I'm trying to get my camera set up. For whatever reason, it's not reading my webcam.
I don't know. I mean, I get it.
Technology, right?
That's true. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. Yeah, just real quick on the topic. I mean, I agree with you. Why am I getting an echo? Are you getting an echo?
No. But
okay,
do you have the video playing?
No. I just have the StreamYard up. But I'm gonna just take my headphone out and then talk and then put it back in so I won't hear myself. But yeah, like I was saying, I agree with you on the topic itself. My only gripe or thing I would say is we have to figure out what to do, because if somebody wants to kind of like, if somebody wants to be like the loser, or they don't want to excel in life, or they want to kind of bum it out, you see in all this chaos go on in Portland and the stuff.
Yo, Artie, it sounds for me. Yo, Artie, for me,
we have to allow them to do that. We just got to figure out a way to have society not crumble with it. So I don't know. Maybe that's where you can come in and say, or offer, some feedback as to how we make sure that the rest of the world doesn't crumble. Because if somebody's going to destroy their life, then there's nothing me or you can do about it. But who pays the bill for all of this? Because if people aren't going to work, I know Elon Musk is doing a lot about universal basic income, and that's one of the topics I'm gonna do a live about. Universal basic income coming forward. I mean, they've already done trials in certain major cities. They've done one with, I think, 600 or 700 people in Atlanta, and realized that they paid these people $600 a month, and they just fucked it off on trinkets and valueless things. But we have to figure out some type of way to sustain society, even with these people throwing their lives away. And when I say throwing their lives, I mean just wasting it away, believing the wrong ideas, or just not wanting to progress, or be anything. They want to kind of go about it their way. So how do we fund it is my biggest question.
Could you hear me, Ba? Could you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, no, we're not funding it. You have to fucking live as an adult. Women will have to, if they're staying single, they have to fucking work. Right? No handout. I'm a very big merit kind of guy. You will have to make it work for yourself. You cannot. Yeah, no, I don't promote handouts, right? I mean, as individual adults, we got to make it work. I don't like the government taking care of grown ass adults who can take care of themselves. So I'm a big thing where, okay, you want to be single, right? You want to be single, or you're unruly, or you're unfit to be in a relationship. Well, then be an adult and take care of yourself. Get a job, focus on your career, focus on your job, making money, and that's it. I don't promote sucking the teat of the government.
Yeah, I agree. I'm more or less just saying when society, so these people throw their lives away believing this wrong idea, and they go from 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and the rest of us are living life, inflation's steadily going up. How do we deal with that as a society? Because I know that they're already throwing their lives away. I'm not here to save their soul. They want to go down the wrong path, let them, but how do we not let the rest of society tank? Because when everything that these women do affects somebody else. So when tons of women throw their life away, that in turn makes the men that would be there to have one of them as their wife kind of up in limbo. They don't know what to do anyway. So
well, here's my thing, right? I've been promoted that, right? And amazing that you have your family, right? I support that. I don't believe all women, right? All women are terrible women. I don't believe that. Particularly, I don't believe every woman in the US are terrible. I don't believe that, because you found your queen, amazing, right? But here's my thing, where
mine 2012.
Yes.
I'm talking about people now.
No. I'm just saying that, like, I don't believe all women are terrible. I also promote that we as men need to focus on ourselves, focus on getting better financially, physically, mentally, and right while you are focusing on bettering yourself, my brother's passport, right? Go around the world. I'm not saying that feminism isn't poisoning other parts of the world. Yeah, it's poisoning China, Japan, South Korea. But here's the thing: if you have a passport, you have essentially opened up your dating pool to an even larger pool, right? It's numbers. We're men, right? We know it. Numbers game. It's always been a numbers game, right? So that has always been men's dating tactics, right? The more numbers you have, the better your chances. So that's where my thing is. One, we as men need to focus on ourselves, right? Focus on being financially stable, right? We have to be a good match for women. This is the thing where why I always say I do hold men accountable. I promote men to be their best version, right? If you're their best version, you are holding yourself accountable. You're not fucking out here using women. No, I don't promote the users, the players, the bad boys. That's not me, right? I don't promote that. I believe the men that follow me, the men that listen to me, I believe these are good ass men, right? Good men. So I'm not out here. I don't gear my content to the players, the bad boys, those dating red pill coaches. I don't know. That's not my fucking content. I don't agree with the dating coaches because I think they're sleazies, right? So again, I promote men to be the best version of themselves, right? Be the best version of yourself, financially, mentally, physically, and then have a passport. Travel the world. There are so many women all over the world. Amsterdam, the UK, Colombia, South America, Africa, Thailand, wherever, right? But be the best version of yourself and travel the world, right? Travel the world. And we got to think, right? We don't realize that here, us men are not that valuable. But around the world, women desire American men. Yes, maybe for the passport or whatever, but they also, how much we make, like if we make 60, 70, 80K, that is highly desirable everywhere else in the world, right?
Yeah,
We have
a million at that point.
Yeah. I mean, we have the most the greatest earning potential, the greatest amount of earnings out of most countries in the world. So you are more valuable than you think. But what you got to do, right? Not just money, be the best version of yourself mentally, so you don't get used. Because again, women all over the world will definitely look for the chance to use you. But if you're smart, you will not. You won't be fallen victim to any woman. You will be the leader of your life, right? So that's what I promote, and that's how I believe that we will make society better. Because here's the thing. We can't change women that's around us. The feminists who are destroying our country, we can't change them because this is not going to how a society lives, right? So what we do, I've said this before, we got to focus on ourselves, watch the world that women created, the feminists created, burn down around them, and sadly, us as men, which I believe this is part of men, we will build it back fucking up, right? We will just watch women destroy the world, and we as good men, as men that, know their shit, will just have to fucking build it back up.
Yeah. I agree with you. When you went on earlier, you was talking about, or when you went live earlier, I guess you was on your phone.
Yeah.
Comment in there. You didn't read it, but I think you saw it, and I was saying, I agree with you. Like the world you have to start over.
Yeah.
The only way I see that happening is there's only one way that I truly see life getting corrected in its entirety. That's everything from the women, the men, the education, the jobs, the food, like the international process. There's only one way I see it happening, and it is the most extreme, painful way. And millions of people are gonna not live through it, but we have to have a total collapse of everything. I mean, I'm talking about electricity gone for at least 50 years, 100 years, all across the world. And then from that, when people settle into like the normalcy of their kids are learning how to live off the land. You're relating to the people who live around you. You have smaller communities where all this, we live in a 1 million, 2 million person city, or like New York City, where it's 8 million people in less than 30 square miles or 50 square miles, something like that. That's crazy. There's all type of chaos involved with that. And so the only way I truly see it being harmonious is you got to go back to like step one, like the very first, almost the closest we can get it to Adam and Eve, the better. That's the only way that this kind of rids itself. Other than that, we're just going to be spinning our wheels. Some of us will make it out. Some of us will be stuck. Most of us will be stuck. Not you and me, but most of people will be stuck. Some of us will make it out. But mostly everybody's just going to be in the rat race, and it's just going to be one technology pop up, another one dies out. One rule gets passed here, another one gets passed there. People move to this medium, people move away from this medium, and it's just going to keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, even down to the way we do politics or any type of governance over mass amount of people. All this socialism, all this stuff is tied into it, and that's the only true way. So although I'm with you in saying if women want to take this path, let them take this path and live single forever. But if we're ever going to rid this, we have to rid it with everything. We have to nuke it down to the molecule and start over with 5 million people in this country, no electricity for amount of years, and then they will teach their kids this is the right way we do it. Then you actually get down to we're living right, we're relating to each other right, we actually have morals and values, and then we will slowly build back up to what we have now hundreds of years from now. But maybe that's my extreme dystopian take, but that's the only way I truly see it fixing itself.
No, here's the thing. I forgot which one of you guys said it. Us as men, we won't mind it being a bit Mad Max for a little bit, right? We wouldn't mind it. And here's the thing, right? I just got my gun license. I may, may try to build a small little gun collection, right? Because if we hit the Mad Max era, I'm gonna be prepared. But my thing is that I don't necessarily think we need to go that extreme, right? I think that we are seeing it. Let's say places like Korea, China, Japan, they have, I don't know why, but maybe because they have a smaller population, right? At least Japan and Korea, they have a smaller population that they have a huge low, a very low birth rate. So they are scrambling. Like, again, what is it? There's some studies that say in the next 10 to 20 years or 30 years, Koreans are going to go extinct. So I think if America are showing signs of that, where we are barely producing, let's say, under a million kids a year, right? Under a million kids a year, we'll probably that's a sign of something has to change. So, I think that when we see the tide really turn, I think there will be some, at least some big talks, right? I'm not saying that feminism is going to be gone or anything, but I think more men will be on board with our shit, right? With our content, with our talking points. More men would be on board and say, "Yo, our society's getting fucked." Right, so we gotta listen, and we gotta get on board with what the manosphere, what the red pill men have been saying for a long time. Well, okay, it's going. Hopefully it's not too late by then. But even if it is, us as men, right, we will suffer through the Mad Max era, right, my brothers. Get your gun license. Stack a little bit, right? Prepare. If we go Mad Max a little bit, we can safeguard ourselves and our family, right? And we will prepare to rebuild society. Because here's my thing, okay? When all of these feminists stay single forever, they will eventually die out, right? Feminism will definitely be one of the groups of women that will die out because they're feminists. Right? They won't be really reproducing like that. I hope more men will. Again, this is why I also promote Passport Bro. Find a fucking woman outside of the feminist sphere. So you're not reproducing with feminists. So you're not letting her ideology pass on to the next generation. So you have a direct control of how your children are raised. So, eventually, hopefully, feminist ideology will die out. Feminist nature, feminist mindset will die out or extremely weaken, where men will rebuild society how it should be, how it's been prospering. Because I've said it, the world that we see now, right? The world that we see now, Korea, Japan, China, the U.S., whatever, it is, however it is, right? If it's going to shit, or even if it's doing better, whatever. It is because of women. It is because women have shaped the world how they wanted to shape it. All right. So if the world has gone to shit, well, we know who to blame. And then real men will come up and rebuild it where it should have been. Right.
Yeah. I didn't know if you was done talking. I didn't want to interrupt you, but absolutely. As far as you mentioned the replacement levels, you're absolutely correct about it. I don't know. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, the replacement level should be, it's kind of like that take a penny, leave a penny, that little thing at the convenience store counter. So in order for us to continue life, we need people to have at least 2 kids. So it needs to be at like 2.0 or whatever. I think it's currently at like 1.7.
Yeah.
So
it's getting
I don't know the math on that. I want to say for every 2,000 kids born, every like maybe 1,700 kids born, something like 2,000 or 2,200 kids are like dying. If I don't know how to do the correct math on it. Don't get me lying about it. But you're absolutely correct about that replacement level. But
yeah, I mean, I think Korea is like under 1. I think Korea is like under 1.
Picking up the arms, it's definitely something that I believe every guy should have. I had a grandfather who loved shooting them. I came down on 4th of July and I would shoot guns with my grandfather. And we talking about old Martin Luther King style guns, from way back in the day. But yeah, I mean, how this replacement level gets fixed, I really think it's out of everybody's control at this point, and we just got to hold on tight. The Mad Max situation happening, I think that does happen. That kind of leans more with the idea of like electricity being gone, but I just don't see if the Mad Max situation happens. I mean, the whole idea of like, and then the whole idea of at that point, one woman, one man, that's going to be out. You're going to have guys 16, 17 years old with, I mean, they're going to have girls in cages. I mean, it's going to get that bad. I don't mean to say it and make it weird to chat out or anything like that, but it's going to, like, Mad Max, the situation is dire straits. So that whole, you're going to have 5 girls to 1 guy and he's going to be average, and they all going to be breeding like crazy because that's all the guy's going to do. He's going to be pumping them out. So maybe that gets society going back in the right direction. But my only question is, since you don't think the electricity go out and you think the Mad Max situation could happen, I agree with you. But what is the pin in the grenade that sets us back to the Mad Max situation? Because I don't think it happens in 5 years, 10 years. I think it's got to be something massive like Spanish flu again, where 60 million people are gone in 5 years, something like that. I just don't know the mechanism that gets us back to that point. So I'm curious to know what you think.
Well, I'm just saying that a Mad Max situation could happen, right? But I mean, I think us, because we are a world power, right? We are a world power. So, like, let's say Korea, right? Like I said, Korea is like, I believe their population growth is under 1, right? So they're not replacing people 1 to 1. They're not. So if America, a world power, right? We are, I don't know, 1 or 2, maybe 1, right? In world power. If we do not sustain our population, it will be the pin, because we have to. We are a world power with a population that is under 1. The government will have to scramble. It will have to scramble, right? Our society will have to scramble if we are not producing at the very least 1 to 1. If we're not, 1 person dying, 1 person getting born, if we're not doing that, we will lose world power status. This is why China is desperate, because they are a world power. China is desperate, right? Right now, they know that they are heading towards that direction, right? China is heading towards that direction, and they are. I mean, like, the things I've seen from the Chinese dating shit like that. They are desperate. They are doing. I mean, they're trying to do new policies as much as they can. I mean, it's hard because they are like a dictator, communist shit. So it's not necessarily their ideology to go crazy. But I think even if China gets under 1 to 1, they will fuck communists, fuck everything. They're gonna do everything they can to get to change that trajectory, because again, they are a world power. And that's what I think that will be the pin for the U.S. Because since we are a world power, right? We ain't Korea, right? We ain't South Korea or Japan. We are a big country, and with such a big country, if we're not producing enough people to even fill our country, the government will have to do something. And I believe that, honestly, men like us, at least men with our talking points, right? Someone in the government power may try to usurp power, right? Hypothetically, a president that is red pill, right? I mean, not saying necessarily, but a president that focuses on, may have a little bit of red pill ideology, may gain power because of, if we are following feminist, destruction, and a man with our mindset actually, like, this is fucking, we're not doing good following women's delusion, right? We're not doing, as a country, as a world power, we're not doing well following women's delusion. we have to change. And it will have to be a man that at least semi thinks like us to gain power and, try to change shit. Because, oh no, we got to promote families. We got to stop promoting this fucking hookup culture. We got to stop promoting women just giving their bodies to all these Chads and Tyrones. We got to stop promoting women being a bunch of single mothers, to what only the men, being single mothers to like one man or whatever. It's like all these things that a lot of men in the manosphere believe, it will have to be pushed to the mainstream, because honestly, it will have to keep women in check, keep women stop going crazy. That's the thing. So I think that will be, again, I think the population thing will be the linchpin, right? Because like I said, as a world power, we cannot go under one, right? We have to, at the very least, stick to 1-to-1. And even that, I believe, is going to be dangerous. Even that, I believe, we will have to do something drastic. If we get to 1-to-1, we'll have to do something drastic. If we get to under one, we will have to do something crazy drastic. AJ, what's up, my brother?
Hey, someone hit 5,000 subs. Let's go, DA. Let's go.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Hey, congrats, man. Congrats.
How you doing, my brother?
Good. I was just
AJ, what up?
Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hold on, AJ. I did want to say this just because we were talking about the replacement level. So I pulled it up. I don't know how accurate it is. It's Chat GPT, but it says so I just asked about some of the worst developed countries. So South Korea is at 0.70.
Yeah.
Taiwan is at 1.10. Singapore is 1.17, Italy is 1.21, and Spain is 1.30. So I'm assuming I asked it for developed countries. So I'm assuming this is the worst of what it deems as developed countries, whatever that metric is. So then I asked, what about China, USA, United Kingdom? It came back with China is about 1.01 per child. United States is 1.62.
My man, you have a slight echo coming on your end.
That's what I was asking about earlier.
Yeah,
do
you have headphones or can you turn your sound down maybe like a little bit?
I got headphones in.
Oh, do you have the YouTube on?
No,
in the background?
Nope.
Okay.
That's why I before you came on, I asked DA. He said he ain't hear it.
On my side, I don't. But
okay, that's all good.
Yeah, just this last little bit, and then so I asked where should it be? It says 2.1 children per developed countries, 2.3 to 2.5 for developing countries. So that's really far off. I mean, 1.62 for US, but Singapore is 0.7. No, I'm sorry, South Korea is 0.70.
Yeah, Japan is 1.15. And the thing that people don't understand, it's not going to be a slow dying off. What's going to happen is that the country, Japan, Korea, China are already becoming top heavy, right? Mm-hmm. Where there's more old people who aren't working than there are young people who are working. So they cannot support the country. And what's even crazier is Japan, China, and Korea don't believe in immigration at all. So we at least are kind of stalling the decline with immigration. But then immigrants come here, and then so within 2 generations they don't have kids. If you look at Asians, Hispanics, whatever, by the time that their grandkids are only having 1 kid or none at all. So China messed up because they spent the last 40, 50 years trying to build up their economy, and all these people say we have to be afraid of China, they're going to beat us. No, they're not, because they have all these quote unquote jobs. If you actually watch some of the news on the ground, it's actually capped, but they don't have any people to work said jobs. So when people who are 50, 60, 70 retire, there's not enough teens, 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds. Even you look at like Gen A and Gen Z is half the size of millennials in the United States. So when the boomers and Gen X retire, who's gonna work the jobs? If Gen A and Gen Z, there's not enough people. And and this is gonna be men once again. You see, Gen Z men are more conservative. They're walking away from dating relationships, and it's gonna. When someone's taking something for granted, you have to take it away from them, right? That's why no movement, no men's rights is going to work. It's going to be us men leaving these 304s alone, not taking part in the system, and then they'll have to sweeten the pot to make us come back.
Yep.
And it's already working. It's already working. The DA's channel, my channel, I was with the guys, plus my nephew, he's 20, so he grew up listening to, Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels, all that other stuff. So he's 20. This is mainstream for him. But where they've lost is really Gen Z and Gen A. And they're scared. The number one thing they're scared of is guys not participating in this system that's, once again, a small group of dudes using women and government to redistribute wealth from us to them. That's all it is.
Yeah, it sounds like we're gonna get a hell of a BOGO sale. You're gonna buy one, get one woman, get 17 free.
But also, too, you gotta realize, man, these millennial chicks, I think the oldest millennials now are like 43, 44, 43. So now you have a lot of these millennial chicks that's eggs are finally dried out. They're hitting the menopause, right? You know what I'm saying? So there's the largest group of single, never married women, and then older millennial men are getting divorced en masse. So what's gonna happen? Us men will be just fine. That's the thing. That's why I'm so optimistic. All of us here, everyone in DA's chat, everyone on this call, we're essential workers. We save, we invest. We live on our own. We're just chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's the women, guys, that are the issue. They have got this feminist experiment. Can you guys name one positive thing that's come from this feminist experiment? Now they have nothing but the worst outcomes: homelessness, mental health, abusing drugs and alcohol, smoking cigarettes more, drinking more self-deletion, less babies.
Debt, student debt.
Yeah. And you would think, I have an analogy where, like, okay, if we were all in an old school middle class neighborhood, because remember back in the day, you'd have like a dentist and factory workers all kind of in the same middle class suburb. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't such a big divide between the upper class and the working class. But that's back in the day why you would have like a Chevy in one parking lot. I mean, in one driveway, a Buick in one, and then the Cadillac in the next one. They all lived around each other, right? If DA is the richest man in the neighborhood, okay, and we're in a recession, and we still see DA is doing well, wouldn't we ask him what he's doing? Because he's thriving. So you would think that women would look and see what men are doing because we're basically recession-proof, but instead they're doing the opposite, doubling down, going back to college, getting more debt, buying these stupid new cars. You know what I'm saying?
Too stubborn.
Doing all the stupid stuff. So, and some of them will stay single forever. DA, I have an older sister. She's cooked. She's 48. Guys, she's never been in any serious relationship in her entire life. My nephew's dad, she and her were together for like 3 months, and then they decided to have a baby. And he's like senior nug, like goofball nug. You know what I'm saying? And she's 48 and she's cooked. She's never gonna get married. She just can't get out of her own way. And she comes from a 2-parent black professional household. There's no reason why my sister she should have ended up in the position that she's in, other than this feminist brainwashing.
Yep. That's sad. That is sad.
Sad. It really is.
And that's the thing. Where I'm gonna have to make that one of a prompt, because what has feminism brought women? Right? I mean, I don't think any.
Misery.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has made women more miserable than ever before.
DA here. I'm gonna drop something in the private chat here. If you want to see some real brainwashing, hold on. Let me see if I can get this for you here. You want to see some brainwashing here? Where is it?
Yeah, how's my audio sound? Do y'all still hear echo from me?
Just a little bit. It's all good though.
I don't know. I'm running my headphones into my laptop, and then my mic is off to the side. I have an external mic, so it's not close at all. I'm not running YouTube or anything. I don't know why it's doing that.
Could be the headphone thing.
Let me.
But I don't know.
Here you go, man.
I don't hear.
Check this out. It's in the.
Let me check.
It'll be in the private chat. Here you go.
It's only going to get worse out there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, for them.
Oh God, this is exactly what I'm fucking talking about. This stupid ass shit. All right. Yeah, let's play this crap. Let's play
AJ with the home movies.
Hey man, they make it easy for us. You know what I'm saying? They put all the business out there on TikTok, Instagram, all this foolishness. So check this out.
Unbelievable. Give me a second.
Is having a boyfriend embarrassing now? I know people have been the headline, they're like, nah, but listen, for this piece I interviewed a bunch of women. I spoke to them about why they hide their partners on social media, or they like post very inconspicuously about them. You know, some people said it was about privacy and this sort of unique special privacy that you only afford your romantic partner. A lot of people spoke about the evil eye and this idea that, oh, if I post my partner, then people who are jealous of me will somehow, through their terrible vibes, ruin my relationship. Some people said that they felt as if they were scared to post because what happens when someone comes to them as a woman, or what happens when they break up and they have to, you know, delete all the posts, and there's this whole feeling of like shame of having tried and failed to find love. And then there was a really interesting point that came across both people in relationships and single people, and this idea that like being in a relationship with a man and showcasing it to the world in and of itself was an embarrassing thing to do. And that's what I really wanted to get into. There was this idea of there not being a solidarity with other women, there was this idea of like a relationship just by default being something that rendered you quite uncool. I spoke about this podcast I came across where they were talking about, is it lame to have a boyfriend? And they say, when I meet a girl and she has a boyfriend, I automatically just kind of put her in a box or in a category, and I just don't feel as inspired or engaged by her. And then when someone doesn't, I feel like they have so much life and prospect, and they are just entertaining and fun, and I kind of feel empowered by their individualism. But interestingly, the girls talking about this on the podcast, agreeing with this idea that like girls without boyfriends are cool, are also in relationships themselves. And so I was thinking so much about how it is very uncool to be a boyfriend girl. It is very uncool to be a my man person. And I spoke to both just people who are on social, but also content creators and influencers about what happens when they post their partners, right? A lot of them lose a lot of followers, especially if they were already single. And this idea that now you are someone's girlfriend and you're posting about this, it's something that people automatically disengage from. I do it too. If I follow someone because they, I don't know, post their outfits and all of a sudden it's their boyfriend every day, I'm just like mute. I came here for a reason. But this is happening like across the board, and like just culturally, I think a lot of like the days of a man being a prize, it's really changed. It's
Clown world.
Really changed. And obviously this has come from like just the empowerment of single women in general, but also just how the trajectory of men and women are going in completely opposite directions. And now we're having to look at heterosexuality with the political lens that we've looked at other sexualities. And we have to evaluate, if we are a part of this thing, what does it mean? And so it's a really interesting piece. I think people should go and read it and should go and check it out. And I've also found the backlash to it. You know, I think a lot of women in relationships will say, well, you know, I hate all men apart from my man. He is a feminist and he is a this and he is a that, and I shouldn't feel embarrassed and blah blah blah. But the thing is, I think we have to be honest with ourselves. If people were to scream like men are trash, I hate all men, men are trash, I hate all men, and then you shack up with a man and you're like, but not my man though, and someone says that's embarrassing.
Guys, isn't it crazy how these 304s ruin British accents? Because you know, growing up, we think that the Bond girl, Mr. Bond, you know, the sultry, seductress femme fatale, And then what ruined it for me was, you guys remember Pearly Things had her show in London back in the day?
Yes,
With
yes.
all
I
those
remember that.
knuckleheaded, 304s with those, actually, I'm a feminist, right? Now these 304s ruin the English accent for me, dude.
But I mean, I definitely agree. But this is this video, right? This video is literally one of the reasons why I said, right, my prompt: modern Western women should stay single forever. They're incompatible with men. They are honestly just, they don't have the brain, right? The brain power, the mentality to be in long-term relationship with men. And I said it, the only way they're able to be in relationship with men is that they get with the foolish simp, the naive feminist men. And honestly, in my honest opinion, a lot of these relationships will just end in divorce or her leaving him eventually, because women cannot stand those men for long.
Yeah. They want a Ken doll. They want a guy who's attractive, tall, doesn't talk and doesn't have any genitalia. Just stands there. Seriously.
Yeah.
It's so funny because deep down, they do want that masculine, more conservative guy deep down in their nature, but the brainwashing is that powerful.
Yep.
It's that powerful. That's one of the things Rose Hamasi said. And I don't really watch him much, but there's an interview that he did a while ago about how women are like children. You can give them everything, and they're still never happy. So they'll have a guy who's a tall, attractive, rich guy with status, but then he's an NBA player or a partner at a firm, and they'll be like, "Well, now he works too much." It's like, so wait a minute. Well, you have everything else, and now you always try and find something wrong with the guy.
Exactly, and again, that's the thing where I said this. This is one of the things why it makes women impossible to be in long-term relationship. Their hypocrisies, their delusions, their insanities. It makes women just bring chaos into men's life. So only the simps, only the fools, only the feminist, naive men can deal with that chaos, because honestly, these men are fine with being doormats.
Yeah, they don't.
These men are fine with being doormats. Again, that's.
So, DA, like, what? Okay, what do you think the next? Let's just say 10 years, where Generation Alpha is 27, 28, and then that would make millennials are going to be in their late 40s, early 50s. How do you think things are going to look?
I think Redpill will grow bigger. I think our manosphere will grow even bigger, right? Because they will look for guidance. I think, one, the men will not be able to you either be a doormat or you wake up. Yeah. And the men that wake up will probably slowly grow and, start to gear it, be into, these type of content, mine, yours, men that are like ours, and then we'll be guiding these men to go, outside the country or, be, focus on yourself, either go MGTOW or go passport bro. And those men will slowly stop dealing with these feminists, and feminists will only be dealing with doormats. But also, while that is, we will be suffering from, a low birth rate, right? Birth rate, high divorce rate, low marriage rate. We will be suffering even more. So it will only get worse, right? Yeah. It will only get worse.
Yeah, I think that if you look at, this was the thing about the Craig Adams thing versus Andrew Wilson, is Andrew Wilson was trying to add the whole religion part on top of like getting men better outcomes when it comes to marriage and everything. It's like, well, no, what we need to do is men need to sit out until legally men are given more power. Just look at the 50-50 custody law in Kentucky.
Correct.
They gave men power They took some away from women, and the divorce rate went down 30%.
Yes, yes, yes.
If they were to get rid of no fault divorce tomorrow, right? And I was talking to another guy who's an Orthodox Christian. He was saying, "Well, us Orthodox guys want the state to be completely out of marriage." I'm like, "Well, us red pill guys do too." Because the state is what cooks you in marriage. If it was just going down to the church, saying some I do's, you know what I'm saying, and then signing some type of civil union contract, just like any other one, but can't be left for no reason, a lot more guys would actually want to get married. Because that would make once no fault divorce was signed in the 70s, that's when the religious marriage and the legal one kind of diverged, and what's good for society and good for women and good for children diverged from what is good for men. You know?
Yeah.
And something happened in Kentucky where they decided that they had to give men some power back. I don't know if it's maybe men were leaving, their marriage rates, they were going through the toilet, their birth rates, whatever. But something that men were doing worked where they had to legally give the power back. Because you know that women didn't like the whole 50-50 thing. They didn't like that because it's all about power.
Yeah,
so,
you're absolutely right. Hopefully, I'm a put my headphones down and off. Hopefully, I'm not too echoey. But I'll just say this real quick, and then I'll pop back out just so it ain't too bad of an echo. But you're absolutely right about that, and that's why I say every single time I get on the live with, especially UDA, and when I get y'all, I say every problem in the world, including marriage, love, everything in the world starts with the church. The church folded first. They were the very, very first fold. And since that fold, everything else has gone in the toilet. And that's one of the things that CGA destroyed Andrew Wilson on, is because he keeps saying, well, you don't have to do that if you get an ecclesiastic marriage, but then you can still be on the hook for child support. How are you on the hook for child support in an ecclesiastic marriage? I don't understand that. You know what I mean? But people will merge those two. I'm not somebody who can just easily merge those two. You know, it's either you have something in law or with the state, or you don't. And so you're absolutely right. Like if we got rid of that state aspect of love and relationships, then everything will kind of normalize itself. Hell, if you did that, then I'm gonna have 4 different girls I'm gonna have a religious marriage with. You know what I mean? Because ain't no leaving me at that point. Y'all all belong to me.
Question for you: what do you mean by the church folded first?
Well, I mean, I don't know what he just cut out. But I would say this. I don't necessarily. I don't know if I would say the church folded first, but I would say this, that I think I would say everything started with feminism, right?
Yeah.
I say everything started with feminism. I honestly believe that.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say they folded first, because you think of it like this: what came first, the chicken or the egg? The feminism came first, but the church is what allowed it into the masses. So there's always going to be this jockeying for a position. You know, you got a basketball team, you got the bench players trying to go harder when they get in the game so they can get a starting spot, but the coach is in charge of it all. And that was the church. And once the church folded, as they fold with everything else, because they don't want to accurately depict that book, then everything else happens from that. In my opinion, feminism has no legs if the church didn't fold to the state, because there's no way the state gets involved. A girl can say whatever, what rights and what she wants, but ain't no big bad wolf to run to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's a separation of church and state, and what happened was that policy change in no fault divorce, it changed the culture, and that culture leaked into the Protestant church, right?
Yeah, but
because
what
here's
I'm
the
saying
thing.
is, hold on, what I'm saying is, before 1970s, you're saying the feminism thing from 1970s, fine. What I'm saying is, in that book, the Bible, there is no state-sanctioned marriage. It's only God, the woman, and the dude. So whenever the state got involved 100, 200, 300 years ago, that's the moment we were up shit's creek. It was just a matter of time at that point. The pin was already out the grenade. At that point, that's what I'm saying. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just saying the church, that's why I say when the church folded. Because if the church handles all its matters on its own, there is no state to run to. There is no state for the guy to run to or the girl. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I'll say this. I definitely. What do you think?
I don't, in that, because once again, if you get rid of no fault divorce, then the state marriage actually does match biblical marriage, where a third party, you have to have a really good reason to get divorced, and a third party has to sanction that divorce. So, for instance, Ireland, divorce was actually illegal in Ireland until about 20 years ago. They couldn't get divorced because they're Catholic. You know what I'm saying? Now, the state part was actually separate because they did the whole state part because of the legal benefits and all that other stuff, to where like these are the man's kids. It used to be that the kids automatically went with the father because they were his property and all these other things. So they did that for certain reasons when it comes to the taxes and money and business deals and all that other stuff, right? Everything was actually going just fine until that no-fault divorce. Then all of a sudden, it gave women. I still don't done the research to actually figure out like what in the world Ronald Reagan was thinking, because he was the one that actually first passed no-fault divorce in California in 1969. So I don't see
He did it to move the process faster, because the divorces were happening so much quicker. That was just like a catch-all. That's why he, from my knowledge, that's why
they were going slowly, because you needed to have a really good reason, and you had to have a judge actually look at the case. And a lot of times the judge is like, this is not a good enough reason to get divorced. And then you'd have to stay married, just like a priest or a rabbi or a pastor. Oftentimes in these, like Mormons can't get divorced. They have like a 4% or 3% divorce rate. The Amish have like a 2% divorce rate, because there's no reason in their religion other than he's beating you up or the baby ain't yours to get divorced. So it wasn't until recently that the state version of marriage and the religious version weren't the same, right? So, but you are correct in that the church, especially the black church, I'm not religious, but the black church let the feminism and the whole, single moms and the zesty choir director in there. You know what I'm saying? The black church, and I would say the main, Protestant Joel Osteen prosperity gospel churches, they did drop the ball big time.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing where I agree. This is the problem where, it came along with soft parenting, where the church didn't hold people accountable. They wanted to be soft, right? Because we've all heard of it. The church is made up of like all single mothers, right? Yeah. So, but again, the church should not be accepting single mothers, because that is against the church. But because they are accepting it, it shows you that they are relaxing. They're not really preaching religion. They're not really preaching the Bible. They're just looking for, donators. That's it.
Yeah, and there's no one who puts more money on that plate than these knuckleheaded 304s and their bastard children. That zesty choir director.
They preach it, they don't practice it. Yeah. That's the biggest shortcoming. That's why I say the things I say, because I look at it like, let's just separate the church and the Bible. I believe in the Bible. I don't believe in the church per se. If you go by what that book says, you dodge a lot of these matters in life. But nobody wants to accurately go by what the book says, because it limits your access. You know what I mean? I said this the other day. It's supposed to limit you. Like, anytime you have rules, it's supposed to limit you. It limits you for the reason of protection. But most people want the things that are on the outside of the limitation, like the cars, the trips, the girls, the fun times, the gifts, and all that. That's on the outside. You can't live on the inside and have what's on the outside at the same time. But that's what the church does.
I think the issue is that as we become more modernized, right? Because remember, you look at blacks back in the South when we actually were the most religious, right? We had the least crime. We were the most married. Like church did keep black people in line, right? So, and then there's other places in the world where the church is actually, it's just sometimes people don't know what that women are free to succeed and they're free to fail. And 9 times out of 10, they choose to fail. They don't know what to do with freedom, right? And I don't think that the church was always a bad thing. And this is me as a I'm not religious at all. It's just when this prosperity gospel, when we move more towards a feminine mindset of I can just go out to the club and twerk and do whatever and then show up at the church on Sunday instead of the whole hellfire brimstone stuff that my mom grew up with, right? Where that actually kept people in line, Even the Catholic Church, the previous pope, he was saying, well, TV's not that bad, and blah blah blah. Like this is the Catholics what we're talking about, That's crazy. But if you go to places like Ethiopia, the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, all my Ethiopian friends are super conservative because their church tells them to do A, B, C, D, and E, and they do said things. They're all married, they all have kids, they all don't believe in LDHTV stuff, right? And that's because that's what their religion tells them to do. We just have this modern Western liberal mindset that's just insidiously made its way into the churches and all that other stuff. So
100. That's the thing where there's no sense of moralities. There's no real teachings, right? Where it's just feeding women's egos, right? Feeding women's egos, and it's not really holding women accountable and teaching women morality. It's not, because it's no more about that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
It's funny because you have these Muslims, if you look at the UK right now, I was finding it rich that the left, they're like, oh yeah, we're pro-diversity and we want Muslims, but Muslims, they don't play games when it comes to women's rights and LDHTV rights and stuff. So you look at these parts of the UK and France, right? Their religion makes them act a certain way. Their religion's kind of where Christians were in the United States in the 1910s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
To go to even leave their religion, there's bad things that'll happen to you. Because there's a high school in my hometown in Washington State where the daughter, the parents tried to marry her off to an old man in Iraq, and she didn't want to get married, so she ran away. And she went to her boyfriend's house, and the dad saw her at the bus stop in front of the high school, jumped out of the car and tried to strangle her to death in broad daylight.
I think I heard a story like that.
Yes. And then after they got the dad
that recent
offer, the mom tried to get her too.
No, I think it was a couple of years ago.
No, this happened earlier this year.
Really? I thought it was
find the case. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like their religion tells them to do these things per their ideology, and they just do it.
I agree.
The issue is that Christianity is kind of giving up ground, and I find it rich that people think that
UK is suffering for it right now. UK is really suffering for it right now.
Yeah, people say Christians are so intolerant. No, go to the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? No, dude, Christians are very, 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 very tolerant of you bad mouthing the Bible, bad mouthing Jesus. I've seen pastors and people preaching, getting yelled at, spit on, and turning the other cheek. People slapping the Bibles out of her hand. Do you think that if there was that if you were in the UK or in France, where there's a lot of Muslims, that if you were to slap their book out of their hand, that there wouldn't be negative repercussions. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yep, exactly.
but yeah, I think DA is right though that these modern women, your millennials are really, really, really going to show because they're what 29 to 43,
45, yeah, something like that.
So
I say it's like closer to 31 to 44, something like that.
Yeah. So these women are the majority are single or getting divorced.
Yeah, and they're also going to have a harder time. I'm talking about the younger generation. Everybody 27 and younger is going to have a harder time because we're also, as men in the millennial generation, we're the last bastion of workers.
Yeah.
So everybody else is either broke wrist or too big to move or don't want to do nothing.
Yeah.
Or like one of these little YNs running around here, pants hanging off their ass, not doing nothing. And who's going to take care of, who's going to be a lineman for the electrical grid, or who's going to do any type of construction work or any type of machining work? I'm a CNC operator too. So,
nice.
I've done CNC work. Who's going to pick that up and make those coach carrier buses for all different type of things? If certain people leave their jobs, like who's going to pick up the hammer and the nail?
Well, I think it's funny that you were saying that because my dad, he lives. Okay, so he and my mom got divorced, but he's always had kind of more of like a doing his own thing, almost red pill mentality in my entire life. You know what I'm saying? Like he's successful. He, my mom. There are times where she would try and give him lip, but he would put his foot down. You know what I'm saying? And then there was a time, he wanted to start his own practice when he was older because he was tired of working for people. So my mom said no, so he divorced her, started his own practice, and now he's 68 and his girlfriend's this like 35-year-old Brazilian chick. She's younger than I am. But anyways, so
wait, and how's your mother?
By herself, you're retired, living out in the house in the middle of nowhere.
Have you ever talked? Have you talked to her? I mean, has she ever regretted it?
I know she does because she's still mad.
Oh yeah,
my dad moved on.
It.
He's chilling. You know what I'm saying?
That is how men should be. That's how men should be.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, and so I was saying that my dad still though he'll argue blue pill stuff. So for instance, he's like,
really?
Yeah, these women aren't having kids because they're just tired of thinking that men thinking that they should be baby factories and they're moving out of the rural towns. Because I was talking about Japan, I was like, they're moving out of the rural towns, but what are they doing? There'll be florists for 20 years and then not have retirement and friggin' be homeless. It's not like all these women are giving up being wives and mothers to friggin' cure cancer or be engineers or whatever. They're working at Walmart. They're giving up being a wife and a mom to be some social worker making $50,000 a year that has $100,000 in student loan debt.
And literally not going nowhere fast.
Yeah,
extremely fast.
So, guys, we're already doing the right thing. Gen Z, Gen A, these guys aren't having it. And one that the only thing that the trad cons and all these other guys have is to shame us. Oh, DA, you obviously aren't a real man. You don't have an obligation. You're not showing your obligation and duty to, keep the human race going or to help society. And you're all about selfishness and nihilism. It's like, what are you talking about?
No, yeah. No, I mean, we are the last good generation. I think we're the last good generation. And I gotta promote, right? Men need to think about themselves, but it's not just only think about themselves, but find the right women, without the constraints of stupid feminist ideology. So we're being smart about it.
Yeah, but I was telling people, guys, red pill, all it is choice.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's
exactly.
choice. You can
Exactly.
be red pill and be married. You can be red pill and be in a relationship. You can be red pill and be monk mode. As long as you take the information that DA says and I say and stuff and do what you think is right for you, more power to you. And that's what the trad cons and the feminists and everyone else they only argue who says our talking points and how they're said, but they can't disprove our talking points, our facts, data, and statistics. They can't do it.
No,
Yeah,
they can't.
I always say the most important thing I will ever tell anybody is do what's in your best interest first and foremost until you die, because everybody else is going to do what's in their best interest. And if and when it goes to shit for you, because you got into a situation where you listen to somebody else, when it goes bad, they're not going to be there to help you. I mean, look at Tyrese. Tyrese still can't even get in the right co-parenting situation for his kid, and he was the biggest. He was the biggest outside of, rest in peace Charlie Kirk. He was the biggest pro woman person there was, and he black. And look at him, can't even get his own kid. And not only that, the internet supports her being in this manosphere, so to say,
which is crazy.
Literally while withholding a child from the father who wants to be in the life, not a deadbeat, not a broke, busting, and disgusted dude. Literally a great singer of our generation. Can't even see his own kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I tell people all the time, do what's in your best interest. The moment somebody wants you to do what's in their best interest, they have nothing for you. They have nothing for you. And that's why I always say, comply, compel, or concede. That's all you got. Either force them to comply, get them to compel them to work with you. If they don't want to do that, then concede. Just give up, walk away. But don't look at giving up and walk away as giving up. Just look at it as an option, a viable option. You're not going to get nothing out of here. You're not going to get no blood from this turnip. Just go figure out something better to do with your life.
I always say this, right? Why I promote men to think about themselves is because I believe in men. I believe men are might be controversial, but I believe men are kinder than women, because men being at their best, men actually care about others, right? So if men succeed, guess what? Men want family. Men want women. So if men succeed, they are bringing women along. Yeah. They're providing for the children. They're providing for women. If men succeed, we are like you, me, we are trying to talk to other men. We're trying to push other men to be better. So if men succeed, we actually care. Unlike women, when women succeed, they don't give a shit about men. They don't give a shit about others. So when men focus on themselves.
When men win, everyone wins. When women win, women win.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's been, to be honest, it's been shown throughout history, right? We have built societies for people, right? And that's the thing. So no, I will always promote men. We need to think about ourselves, because when we're thinking about ourselves, we will bring others along.
Yeah. And only men truly, even when we think about ourselves, we still do things that help everybody else. It's not even like we so much so we bring everybody on. Like when I think about myself, I do something that betters everybody else and still bring these people along with me during the process. You know what I mean? So
no, I mean, like, look at, AJ, man, you're growing a whole lot quicker. I mean, you have a mass following, and then you even show me support. Like, again, like, yeah, I have like a bigger following than Artie, and I want to show him support. And that's us as men. We actually, I'm sorry, men are selfless, unlike women who are selfish, right? Just like Steve said, we actually care about other people. I'm sorry, women only care about themselves and fake caring about other women.
Yeah. Men's
never
nature,
feel down about doing for yourself. I'm sorry, AJ. Never feel down about doing for yourself, because you will notice when you actually start to look, you will notice any and everybody is going to be out for their best interest. And not only that, the worst part about it is once they get what they got, these people who want to use and abuse other people in the world, i.e. women, and so much, And so all these people, they will wipe the slate clean and go away. You know, they throw rocks and hide hands. Look at it. 3 weeks ago, what was the biggest story in the world? Sports gambling.
Yeah.
Where did that story go?
Yeah.
Disappeared like a thief in the night. It blended in with the midnight and it just left. That goes to show you this government that you think is going to, for especially for the Christian people, they keep banging that this government is going to take care of this problem, that we have to engage. They're going to say that we have to engage with them and the government to fix the society. Meanwhile, 3 weeks ago, these fools are gambling, rigging games, illegal gambling with millions of dollars on the line. And then they get their money off the top, and then the story just disappears. It just never happened. Just never happened. And we're supposed to engage with this same system that allows that.
Well, think of this, man. The Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean water. Where'd that story go? Right?
Oh, yeah.
What was the other one that was in the news? Jackson, Mississippi still doesn't have clean water. Where'd that story go? You know?
Yeah.
The news cycle is what, like 5 days, and then people forget all about it. And there's a reason why they do that. It's because they bombard you with things to stress you out and worry you, so that you're worried about these things that you can do nothing about, right? And it takes your eye off things like personal improvement or worrying about actual things in your life that you can fix, right? Things that are actually hurting your pocketbook, you know, like, oh, wait a minute, we're going to do some crazy thing about sports betting while these stocks move or change, or your IRA gets raided, you know? It's ridiculous. Because you can't worry about things that are beyond your control. That's what women do.
I love that. I love that.
That's why they're worried about Palestine and all this crap, climate change, all these things. Guys, that have nothing to do with us.
Yep.
They're nothing to do with us at all. Because this is why, you know, in our space, we do have conspiracy theorists. And guys, I do entertain myself with some, right? But at the same time, guys, you can't go down these conspiracy theory things because let's just say the moon landing didn't happen. What does that have to do with you getting up and going to work tomorrow?
No.
What if there was some cabal of, you know, child sacrificing, you know, deities out there in the woods? What we just get up and go to work, guys. What are we gonna do about it? Nothing.
No. But that's the thing where it's okay. We could do things for fun, right? Conspiracy is fine, but we also, this is why I love, you know, men are logical, right? We could have fun, but you know what? I promoted to exactly what you just said, right? We gotta focus on the things we can change. That's how men are. Right? It's only women that focus on shit that they can't do nothing about, but they want to stress about, right? Men, we gotta focus on the logic.
They're trying to lecture us. They want to find some stupid abstract thing like climate change or systematic racism, all this other stuff, so that you have white chicks that are usually only trying to lecture white people, like other white people or white dudes, about stuff that they barely know anything about, that their college professor gave them bullet points to talk about. That's all it is.
Exactly. And the only true conspiracy, right? Wendy Williams is Bigfoot.
And you know, that's the thing where I know us men would do that shit for fun. We're just playing, you know. I love it.
Well, you know, the only thing that I really have looked into is 9/11, guys. I don't know what happened. I just know that what the government said happened didn't happen. I don't know what happened. I'm not trying to put anything. I'm not positing a positive theory. I just know that they said happened didn't happen.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with questioning things, guys. They said, well, what do you think happened?
Exactly.
Happened? I don't know.
Matter of fact, where were y'all when it happened? Because I was in Mr. Bucket's class. Was it 8th grade or 7th grade?
Ooh,
yeah.
And all I remember was I was just sitting in class, and then I grew up in Riverdale, Maryland, which is like 4 or 5 miles outside of Washington, D.C. So I'm in the surrounding area. I was in PG County.
Oh yeah. I used to live in Silver Spring.
Okay, you Moco. Okay.
Yeah.
Montgomery County. Yeah. So I was in New Carrollton at Charles Carmel, and then all I remember early in the morning, so and so come down for early dismissal. Then you come down for early dismissal, and then you come down, and I was like, damn, why everybody leaving? It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Like we ain't even been here an hour, and everybody leaving, and then Mr. Buckets rolled out that TV and put it on the news, and I was like,
oh my God, yes.
And then this is the only time I felt like my parents ain't even care, bro. They left me in school the whole time. Then I actually called them and they at their job, and he was like, "Yeah, man, just go on, go home." So I had to skip school, bro. I was like, "Man, y'all ain't gonna come get me. Y'all ain't shit."
I remember it was my sophomore year of college, I think, and I remember we had been up, partying the whole night, and they were still, some of my homies passed out in the living room and stuff. And my roommate's mom, this is back when we had landlines. The landline was ring, 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 just going off. And I'm like, hello, who is this? And my friend's mom, our nation is under attack, turn on the TV. And it was the craziest thing. It was right after the first plane hit. And then we watched the second plane hit. But you guys know the craziest thing? I was in first grade when the Challenger blew up. And I was in California, and that you remember that one of the astronauts, she was a teacher. She came to our elementary school. She went on a whole tour of schools in like California, Texas. So I remember we had like an assembly, and she was like, "Hi, I'm gonna be an astronaut." Da da da. And we're gonna. So every classroom had a TV, and we watched the Challenger launch live. And I remember that bad boy blew up. Boom! And all of us were like, ah! We all started crying, and the teacher was like trying to turn the TV off. I think that was probably one of the most memorable events, shocking things that I've seen. That was when I was 6 years old or 7. I remember it like it was yesterday. I remember that the TV, the explosion, my classroom, the teacher, the principal all of a sudden was like, "Teachers, please turn the TV off." And then the news, it was crazy. That and 9/11, I remember like it was yesterday. And then I was in Times Square when the Boston bombing happened. So I was in a bar with my friend, and we went out to Times Square, and all these cops were like, "Go back inside," and there was cops everywhere.
You talking about the Boston? The brothers
marathon? Yeah.
Oh, okay, the marathon. Yeah, the brothers
bombing. Yeah, because they didn't know if there was going to be another attack. So we were stuck in this bar for like 5, 6, 7 hours, couldn't leave while the cops figured stuff out. So, and then the guy next to me, his brother was medical staff at the finish line in Boston. So he's trying to call around to see if his brother was okay. So it took him like 2-3 hours. He was calling everyone he knew. He was freaking out. We're like, "Dude, it's all right," And finally, he got a hold of his brother. And, I've never seen a dude like emote like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was sheer just like relief, joy. You know what I mean? Like, because he thought his brother was cooked. So crazy times, man. Crazy times.
Yes. But guys, thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Thanks for doing what you're doing, man. Hey, 5,000 subs, man. You are doing the damn thing.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Whenever you got a chance, right? I'm always down to jump over to your stream whenever you have something.
I had a stream being single in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Tomorrow at 9, I'm gonna do being single in your 20s, like men stay single in your 20s, because I want to give advice to guys that are 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that'll be yep.
All right.
So you guys feel free to jump on, man.
I sounds good, my brother. Thank you guys for being here.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Later, bro. Artie, thank you for being here, my brother. All right, thank you.
Yeah. I how do real quick? How do I Because I wanted to I'm more of a personal person, so I was just going to get you my number or email you. So if ever like we could like talk or collaborate on things, I'd rather just do it like off the, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to say stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I didn't see your email on your page. I gotta go to IG.
Well, I mean, you go either go on my IG or go on a Discord. You could just message me directly on Discord.
I don't even know how to use Discord. I'm not I'm not a tech.
Here.
I'm a tech dude, but I'm more of like I know how to use Python a little bit, like SQL. I know how to use like the program side of like apps and stuff like that.
Look in the private chat. Private chat. I'll put my email there, so just email me. You see it?
Yeah, hold on. I'm about to copy right now, and then you can go ahead
and then we could always schedule some, some collabs. All right, we could always schedule some collabs for your channel and stuff. So that'd be fun.
I got you. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'll just email you.
Yeah, man.
What the hell is this? But yeah, shout out to everybody for coming by, listening. Hopefully, my mic and all that wasn't too terrible, but
you got to get. I mean, what do you use? Right? I use this one. I think it's pretty decent.
I got a fine one. I got the one that
What do you use? Your laptop?
Yeah, I got a high-end laptop though.
Okay. Well,
my laptop like close to like $1,400.
Okay. Well, we got we got to see it. We got to check it out, right? All right, man.
Yeah. I'm actually getting ready to do a pod the balloon right now. So yeah, I'll shout out to everybody. Shout out to AJ and shout out to you, DA.
All right, man. Later, my brother. What?
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to see something. Hold on.
All right, Laughing Man, my brother. Thank you for being here, my brother. Thank you. Steve, I love you, my brother. Thank you for being here. All right, Whiskey was here. System, I love you. All right, my brother. RM, my brother. Your username is crazy to say. So, forgive me if I don't, pronounce that crazy ass fucking name. But love you, my brother. Whiskey. Thank you for being here tonight. Red Door was here. My sister, thank you for being here. Brent. Thank you for joining on my live during the day, right? I'm going to do more of that, right? Guys, if you guys are ever bored, right? I try to do more lives, right? I'm going to try to do more lives on my phone, right? During the day, right? So I think that would be fun. I think that would be interesting, you get some different kind of crazy people in the chat, so I think that'd be fun and interesting. But yeah, that's it for tonight, right? Big Bars was here too, right? Yeah, Big Bars was here. I want to do shout out. Omni was here too. I think that's it for the shout outs. Yeah, I think that's it for the shout outs. You guys are amazing, right? I love you guys. All right, please be good, be healthy. Yeah, I love Pokemon. Right? I play Pokemon Go. Whenever I get the chance, bored. So I play Pokemon. Stay tuned. All right. Guys, you're amazing. I love you, all right? Be good. Later, guys. Peace.